The third one is multiple uses of a commodity. Now listen to me carefully, guys. If a commodity is used for more than one purposes, then we call it multiple uses of a commodity. If a commodity is used for more than one purpose, then that is called multiple uses of that commodity. Right? So when it is so, its demand gets affected when there is change in its price. However, if a commodity is used only for one purpose, then its demand will hardly get affected even though there is change in its price. For example, milk. Milk by Indians is used for various purposes. For its direct consumption, to make tea out of it, to make sweets, curd, buttermilk, butter out of it, and for some other purposes as well, like to make paneer out of it. So a family consumes too much of milk because it uses milk for various purposes. However, when milk price rises in the market substantially, the family may restrict its use only for some specific purposes, let's say for direct consumption for children of the family, and to make tea out of it, tea or coffee out of it. That's it. They will stop using milk to make sweets, paneer, curd, buttermilk, etc. out of it. Have you understood this or not, guys? I'm asking
Yes, sir.
Mahi, Mansha, and Anish. Have you got this?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Some years back, people were using LPG cylinder not only as a cooking gas, but they were also using it for gas geysers because electricity was much expensive that time, or rather, LPG cylinder that time were very cheap as compared to what they are now. At around 400 rupees, you were able to purchase an LPG cylinder. So people were using that not only as a cooking gas, but also as a gas as to use their gas geysers and also as a fuel to run their cars. But when LPG prices rose in the market, they stopped to use it for gas geysers as well as a fuel for their cars. That is another example of multiple uses of a commodity, right? So use of a commodity for more than one purpose also affects its demand when its price changes. For example, milk can be used for its direct or absolute consumption and also to make tea, coffee, curd, butter, buttermilk, sweets, etc. out of it. However, when its price rises, people restrict its consumption to very or for very few purposes only. Have you got this? On the other hand, when price of milk falls, its demand rises as consumers again start using it for multiple purposes. Note down this, guys, fast, everyone. However, if a commodity is used only for one purpose, one or two purposes, its demand usually does not get affected even when its price changes. For example, if a family consumes milk only to make tea out of it, may not change its demand of milk even when price of milk rises. Got this, guys, or not?
Yes, sir.
The same is, guys, with power, that is electricity. When it is cheap, people use it for various purposes, not only for illumination, but also to use electrical equipments for cooling purpose, whether it is fan or coolers or air conditioners. They also use electricity to operate various electrical and electronic devices. It may be television, mixer, geyser, right? It may be music system, charging laptop, mobiles. No, that depends whether they are really habitual of that or not. Otherwise, they will stop doing it or will restrict its use to some extent, right? So when price of electricity rises in the market, that is tariff rate rises in the market, many families try to cut its consumption by restricting its use for some specific purposes only. I hope you all are understanding this, guys. The next point is diminishing marginal utility. So have you all noted down third point, guys, fully? Those who are online and sitting here.
Yes, sir.
Anish noted down that, right?
Yes, sir.
1 minute, guys. Huh? I have to send link to a student. She's waiting to join this class. She does not have this link, I think. So I sent it to her earlier. Yeah, listen to me, guys. We will talk about this law, that is law of diminishing marginal utility in our next chapter of microeconomics in consumers equilibrium part. But as of now, for you, it is must to understand this. Do not write anything, guys. Why? Because I may change many of the things that I write here. The one who gave the law of demand, that is Alfred Marshall, he only gave another law known as the law of diminishing marginal utility. Shubhi, you did not have this link of microeconomics? Okay, guys, what I was telling is that there is a law of diminishing marginal utility. That law was also given by Alfred Marshall, who gave the law of demand. Now, through his law, he tried to explain why a consumer consumes only certain units of a particular commodity. And he explained that it is all because of the satisfaction that he obtains by using or by consuming certain units of that commodity. For example, if I sit for my meal, for my food, I get satisfied by consuming only three chapatis. Three chapatis give me maximum satisfaction. Whereas when my friend sits, he consumes five chapatis. It doesn't mean that he is more hungry or he is hungrier than me. No, it is not so. It is because five chapatis gives him maximum satisfaction, not three. So how this happens, to explain that, Alfred Marshall made this law known as the law of diminishing marginal utility, right? So I need to explain you that law to make you understand this particular point. Alfred Marshall said that whatsoever satisfaction that we get by consuming or using a commodity, that satisfaction is called utility. And that utility can be quantified, can be measured in quantitative terms. So he said that if one consumes, let's say, a samosa, he can tell that how much satisfaction, that is, how much utility he has obtained by consuming that samosa or any other thing, right? He can quantify, means consumers can quantify the level of satisfaction, what they get, what they obtain by consuming or using a commodity. Anything which can be measured in quantitative terms should have a unit of measurement. Like when I have to quantify length, the unit of measurement that I have with me is feet or meter or kilometers, right? Or miles. When I have to quantify weight of something, the unit of measurement that we have with us is gram, kilogram, pounds, quintals, right? And alike. The same way, since Alfred Marshall believed that level of satisfaction can be quantified, he himself gave unit of measurement to measure one's level of satisfaction, and that is called utile. So he derived this term from the word utility only, utile. So I hope you all have understood what is utile. Utile is the unit of measurement with which one measures level of satisfaction that he obtains by consuming or using a commodity. Have you got this? So suppose I consume a samosa, I eat a samosa and somebody asks me what is the level of satisfaction that I obtained by consuming that samosa. I may say 45 utiles. This is my level of satisfaction, right? If some other person consumes the same samosa at the same time and he is asked the level of satisfaction that he obtained by consuming that samosa, he may say 80 utiles. Means he got more satisfaction than me, he got more utility in that samosa than me by consuming that samosa. I hope guys you are understanding it. Mansha, Mahi,
Yes, sir.
Anish, Shubhi.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now, the law, what he actually explained through this law is that he said that when you consume a particular commodity or when you consume units of a particular commodity one after another, means you are in the process of continuous consumption. Every successive unit gives you lesser satisfaction than the earlier units. This 80 is 80 utiles. So a consumer consumed the first samosa and by consuming the first samosa, from the first samosa he got satisfaction or utility of 80 utiles. He immediately went for the second one and this time he got 50 utiles. He then went for the third one and this time he got 20 utiles or let's say 10 utiles. When he went for fourth one, from the fourth he did not find any utility at all. So what Alfred Marshall explained is that in the process of continuous consumption of units of a commodity, every time you consume that commodity, you get lesser satisfaction than the previous one. So here the satisfaction level has gone down than what he got from the previous or the earlier unit. Here again the same happened. Here also the same happened. And that is what is the law of diminishing marginal utility, because marginal utility here is diminishing. Have you understood this, guys, or not? I'm asking,
Yes,
guys.
sir.
And and
Yes,
and
sir.
and this happens, guys, with us also, with everyone this happens. And the only reason behind this, as why this happens, is that our behavior. That is human behavior. So we soon get fed up with something. We soon get fed up with something. Whether it is an item which is consumable or it is an item which is usable. You purchase a new mobile, even though it is mobile, the most expensive mobile available in the market, right? Yet the very first day it will give you maximum satisfaction. Next day, the level of satisfaction will go down. Third day, again, it will go down further. And one fine day, you will get fully bored from that mobile. And you will demand for the new mobile set, the other mobile set. The same is with new car, with new clothes, with new shoe, with new laptop, with samosas, with chapatis, with water, with anything else. Yes or no, guys?
Yes, sir.
Right? So this happens because of human behavior. Now we come back to this point as why this point is here. Let's say price of a samosa is rupees 10. A consumer is very hungry and he wants to satisfy his hunger only with samosas. So he went to a shop, right? And he started consuming samosa. For first samosa, he paid rupees 10 and he got satisfaction of 80 utiles. He again purchased second samosa and again he paid 10 rupees and this time he got 50 utiles. Now, by consuming these two samosas, he understood that every successive samosa will give him lesser satisfaction. Yes or no? But he knows that he has to pay the same price. So after consuming second samosa, he demanded the vendor of samosa, that why don't you cut the price of samosa from 10 to 8? If you do it, then only I will buy the third one, because I know that third one will give me lesser satisfaction, lesser utility than the previous one. Since I am going to get lesser satisfaction, why should I pay you the same price? And that is what, guys, is the where the lot of demand comes from. That when price is reduced, the seller would be able to sell more, otherwise not. Have you understood or not, guys? कहाँ मिल रहा है
Yes,
ज्यादा?
sir.
थर्ड से ही फ्रॉम थर्ड ही इज गेटिंग 10 यूटाइल्स ओनली. कैसे? अभी हमने बात किया कि नहीं मिलता है. कैसे मिलता है? You are very thirsty, you went for a glass of water. The first glass of water will give you maximum satisfaction. Second one will give you lesser than that. Third again will give you lesser than that. नहीं, उसने ऐसा नहीं बोला. He went for the first one. He was not knowing when he will get satisfied fully. He did not know it. So he, after consuming first, he decided to go for second one. Correct? And this is the reason, guys, in the market, in the wholesale market, wholesalers give you discount in the price when you purchase items in bulk. What this? This is the reason actually. This is the psychological reason behind that. You go to big bazaar and you went there with a planning that you will purchase only one packet of let's say hide and seek biscuits. But there you found that if you purchase three, one would be free. Then instead of purchasing one, you purchased three and you got ultimately four. This is because of this, guys. That is because of the law of diminishing marginal utility. I hope you all have understood this. Yes or no? Anish, Mansha, and Mahi.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
This side, guys. Have you all got this? Okay. Guys, you can start noting this down. This one and not this one. Third point you have noted down. This one, yeah, this only you have to write. Right. We will see, guys, this law in detail in the next chapter. The last one, guys, is change in consumers base. Now, guys, so far, all the points that we saw are or were about existing consumers only. Whether it is substitution effect, points that we have seen so far were about existing customers of a particular commodity, whether it is the point of substitution effect or income effect or law of diminishing marginal utility, right, or multiple uses of a commodity. Now here we will have additional consumers or customers as well of the commodity. When I say consumers base, it is total number of consumers of a commodity. So when there is change in price of a commodity, let's say price of a commodity is falling, because of that, now that commodity is within the reach of some more consumers as well. So new consumers join the market and start buying that commodity. Earlier, they were not able to buy that commodity. Why? Because that commodity was out of their reach earlier. Let's say, for example, a particular model of Mercedes car. If price of that is reduced by the company from rupees 80 lakhs to rupees 20 lakhs, its demand will increase. Why? It's not about existing customers, but new customers will join the market. Those who are able to afford car for rupees 20 lakhs, they will also now purchase Mercedes. And this is how there would be change in total number of consumers. That is change in consumers base. Have you got me guys or not? Let's say a cup of tea in Radisson Blue Hotel is available at rupees 124, right? And every day they have approximately 80 customers in the morning. Now, if the hotel reduces the price of each cup of tea from rupees 124 to rupees 50 per cup, many more consumers will join the market. That is, now the hotel would be able to sell more cups, more than 80 cups every morning. Why? Because for many new consumers, now that cup of tea, having it in Radisson Blue is affordable. Have you got me or not, guys? Understood this? And that is what is change in consumers base. Mansha, Mahi, and Anish, understood this or not?
Yes, sir.
Right. The same happens the other way around. When price of a commodity is increased substantially, many consumers leave the market. Those who were consuming that commodity earlier, now they do not consume that commodity again. Why? Because now that commodity has gone out of their reach. They cannot afford it now anymore. Let's say a particular brand of basmati rice is available at rupees 120 per kg. In the city, let's say, in a small city, let's say 500 families purchase that basmati rice every month. Total consumption of basmati rice in that particular town and that particular city is let's say 500 kgs a month. Now suddenly the company has increased its price from rupees 120 per kg to rupees 200 per kg. Because of that, its demand will fall from 500 kgs a month to, let's say, 400 kgs per month. Because many families decided to quit that commodity and to shift to some other basmati rice, which is still available at rupees 120 per kg. Understood or not? This is change in consumers base. You can start noting this down. Many companies, service providers, they keep price of their commodity intentionally very high, not to have crowd for that commodity, not to have many consumers for their commodity, so that they could give status or prestige to their customers, those who can afford it. I hope you're understanding, guys. So just for the sake of status or prestige for their consumers, they intentionally keep price of that commodity very high. Right. So that actually we will see in supply chapter. In supply function, we will see one thing: producer's goal. Every producer or every seller has a goal, either of the two. One of them is to sell as much as possible, even though at a very thin profit margin, like Maruti company. So it produces cars in all segments, right from L to 800. And earlier we had Maruti 800, right? Tata also brought Nano, though it failed in the market, right? But there are other companies like Mercedes or Audi, right? They do not make anything for middle class, middle income class, and lower income class people. They do not make anything. The same is with Sony company. Sony always targets very high income class of the society. Videocon Samsung comes in between for the middle class. Videocon, Onita, they all are in the lower class. I hope you have got this, guys. Yes or no?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So, guys, with this, our this title, that is rational of law of demand, is fully over. The next thing that we have is exceptions to the law of demand. Have you all noted down this, guys?
Yes, sir.
Everyone, right? Anish, Mansha.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
Okay, we will see this in detail, guys, in our next class. But let me tell you that exceptions to the law of demand are those goods or those circumstances when the law of demand does not work at all. Now, law of demand does not work. It has two implications. One, price rises, but demand does not get affected, or vice versa. Price falls, again, demand does not get affected. Two, price rises at the same time, demand also rises. Or when price falls, demand also falls. Both these situations are against the law of demand, and that is why they are part of exceptions to the law of demand. Are you getting my point? Price बढ़ने पे demand को कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ा. Price कम होने पे भी demand unaffected है, right? Price rise हुआ, demand भी rise हो गया. Both these things are exceptions to the law of demand, which we will see in our next class. Right, Mahi Mansha?